In our last video, we discussed how pervasive mass surveillance can be in many Chinese cities and touched briefly on the social credit system. Here's some more information on the experimental new normal. In China's eastern coastal city of Rongcheng, home to 670,000 people, every person is automatically given 1,000 points under the newly implemented rules. Fighting with neighbors will cost you 5 points. Fail to clean up after your dog, and you lose 10. Having a good credit score has its advantages. It can even mean getting a discount on your bus ticket. The degree of detail to which the system can focus in order to adjust your credit score is pretty amazing. In certain cities, you can be tracked down to your shopping habits. You'll be docked points for buying cigarettes, but given points for buying baby wipes, as it shows you're an attentive parent. You can have a lower score for frequently buying alcohol. Shoppers would be better off buying bottled water, and your purchases are just the beginning. The system also keeps track of who you keep in close contact with, whether it's over messaging apps or in person. The system provides benefits for those with high scores, but takes away rights and privileges from those with low ones. Public places like cinemas and other outdoor gathering places have been known to show details of people who have committed infractions, even down to their home address. There is even a blacklist that the government keeps, which includes both companies and people, including journalists who are critical of the state. One journalist who had written a story uncovering government corruption didn't know he was on the list until he went to the train station. When buying a ticket, he realized he had been blacklisted and therefore banned from traveling. The government is rolling out big data in surveillance to inculcate positive behavior in its citizens via a social credit system. Experts say that the COVID-19 virus has given authorities a pretext for accelerating the mass collection of personal data to track citizens, a dangerous prospect, given that the country does not have stringent laws governing personal data. In one example, the success of the Sharp Eyes program's recent integration was demonstrated in China's response to the 2019 pandemic, when the Politics and Law Commission in Hubei ordered 170,000 grid workers to collect data on their fellow residents to enforce a lockdown. Recently, Chinese netizens have been particularly critical of a system called Health Code, which works through Alipay or WeChat, and assigns individuals one of 3 color codes based on their travel history, time spent in outbreak hotspots, and exposure to potential carriers of the virus. The software, now used in more than 100 cities, will soon allow people to check the colors of other residents when their ID numbers are entered. Foreigners are also required to have this in order to get a visa. It's been a lot tougher to get into the country throughout the course of COVID. Measures being taken in order to combat the coronavirus each run the risk of becoming permanent, as many residents have seen. The effects of modern surveillance technology are seeping into daily life more pervasively with each passing year, marked by the introduction of new products like the Dolly lamp, a lamp that spies on your kids doing their homework with 2 separate cameras. It was created by the same folks who gave us TikTok. In their own words, the lamp is vigorously equipped with top-mounted and front-mounted dual smart cameras. It is convenient for parents to know the child's learning status anytime and anywhere. And guess what? They're selling like crazy. ByteDance sold more than 10,000 of the lamps within a month of launch in October 2020. The pressure of constant surveillance is now increasingly felt at work as cameras become more and more common in offices. Companies have been known to keep track of their employees' behavior, down to the minute, much akin to certain Western companies that have been known to use tech to squeeze productivity out of people. These Chinese systems also apply to phones, including all browsing history and program use. They're able to rank quote-unquote inefficient workers based on the time they spend on applications and websites considered quote-unquote unrelated to work, even when on breaks. Some apps track your location to within a few feet and make a note if an employee stays in a certain area, such as the toilet, for too long. But the tech is exploding. In 2017 alone, more than 530 patents linked to CCTV cameras and video surveillance tech were published in China, compared with just 96 in the US in the same year. It doesn't just stop at work. In order to make sure people exposed to the coronavirus are obeying lockdown orders, Chinese authorities have been installing security cameras aimed directly at residents' doors and sometimes inside their homes. Quite often, these cameras are armed with facial recognition software. Stick around for the next video, where we continue our discussion of China's surveillance state. Thanks so much for watching. 谢谢。